I went over by 32 seconds on my second segment. So at the very end, what I had said was, I'm very blown away, pun intended. I know I need to cool off and calm down and think about things. And, he had mentioned that it wouldn't necessarily be a difficult thing to do for me to go and have a judge reverse or overwrite or reinstate my my ability to carry a gun or whatever. The thing that upset me more than anything was that I could not believe that an entire relationship, everything that I had shared with him, everything that I had self-disclosed, and the trust that I was starting to establish, it all seemed to just be obliterated by the subject matter of a gun. And I would have never said, I wouldn't have addressed the topic the way that he did. And I'm trying to think of, it's just like saying you can't ride this bus because you're black. Discrimination. That's the only word that I can think of. Discrimination. And at this point, my stomach feels sick. I've had just enough for now. And I never really talk about my relationships in my documentary. I talk about the things that I go out and that I do spiritually and things. And so this is really kind of an intimate share, but it hurts. And God always tells me when I cry, I say it hurts. And he says, where does it hurt, honey? And 100% of the time, I always say to him, it hurts my heart. I could smoke a pack of cigarettes a day because you know what? I'll probably die from boredom before I'm going to die from freaking lung cancer. That's an inside thing. But I've had this dream over and over and over, and there's a little girl over in the Middle East who stood up to the Taliban and she got shot in the head, and now the whole world is writing her cards and things like that. She represents me and what I've been doing for the last decade. But I haven't gotten bells or whistles or thank yous or, whatever. I do what I do and I move on. And this planet is a pit stop. All men are created equally is bullshit. And if you want to know why I say that, then read the Bible. The Bible is the most sexualized book in the history of the world, the most read book in the world. It's always about, and he did this, and he who does that, and him, and his. Where do you ever hear her? Little bit of Mary. She does get a little bit of credit. So the question becomes, what am I going to do now? Maybe I can recover what I kind of felt. I wanted to get off the phone right away. My first inclination was to hide. Hide so you couldn't be hurt. Hide so we can't go any further with this. Hide, 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 hide. And it's very interesting that I am one of the most courageous, brave, and bold people in the world, but when it comes to considering letting somebody slide into a position that Jesus plays in my life, it's a lot different. And I let those walls down, and now I'm kind of regretting doing that. And that's not healthy. Believe me. Some people may call me a basket case, but I studied psychology in school. So, if you have your degree, then we'll sit down and chit-chat. But if not, don't freaking judge me. So I told him that he could, get back to his movie. And he said something about, I'll talk to you tomorrow after church. And I hung up the phone. And I hit the ground. I mean, I stood up to go into the bathroom. And I just fell, like, on my knees. There I was. Thank God I wasn't in public. Sitting there on my knees, shaking my head, crying. And I don't cry why anymore. Everyone always wants to know why. Why did my son get murdered? Why did my brother have to die? Why would you do this to us, God? Why? Why? We want our answers. Well, with respect to my life, he has a very creative way of softly and lovingly and amazingly. He whispers in my ear all the time. They don't deserve you. They don't deserve you. And that's why when Jesus said, they'll call for me and they're not going to find me. They'll shout out for me and I'll be gone. That applies to me and my son. And all I'm saying is being in another place in the world where there aren't any factors or people to hurt us. You know, it's not some stupid cult suicide thing I'm talking about. It's Jesus and Christopher and I. And maybe that's the way that the rest of my life is supposed to be. Just Jesus. Alright, thanks for watching, and remember, wherever you go, there you are.